Greetings and welcome to A Sip of Inspiration. Every moment in your life is filled with all the opportunities that life has to offer.
My name is Stanley Wilson-Coleman.
You see, life is a canvas, and you decide to color. What colors will you choose for your life today?
There was a message in his melody, sweetest lyrics that I ever heard. There's a message in the songs of birds. Tomorrow.
Greetings and welcome to A Sip of Inspiration. I'm Stephanie Wilson-Coleman, the Empowerment Doctor, and I want to welcome you and thank you for listening to A Sip of Inspiration. Joining me are three of my favorite experts. Two have been here with me before, so they're kind of used to the flow of things, but tonight we're breaking in a new one. Hopefully we won't scare her away and come back, and she'll come back. Our topic is tapping into your greatness. I talk a lot about the fact that you color the canvas of your life. And tonight we're going to teach you how to tap into that greatness so that you can begin to live your dreams. Now, to introduce our panel, I'm going to start over here with Stanley Robinson. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on the show.
I tell you, it's been really great having the opportunity to work with you. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Stanley, so I want you guys to pay attention. I didn't know, and we've done several things together before now, but I actually tapped on the website, and I did not know that you you have a JD degree and a DBA. He's like the resident smart person over here. Right? He teaches business law, and I found out he went to John Marshall Law School also. He has a television show, not A Sip of Inspiration, The Ink Spot, and a radio show, The Ink Spot, where they actually review books, and he's done over 100 books. He's been doing this now for about 5 years. I think that is fantastic. Anybody who loves books as much as I do has got to be all right with me. So thank you for joining me again.
Thank you for having me.
And then there is the Andre M. Grant, attorney at law. Hi, how are you doing?
Stephanie, I'm better than good, and it's a pleasure to be back.
Thank you. We had a ball the last time. I'm cheating because I have your bio here. Excuse me. You went to the University of Iowa College of Law, where you were also the president of the Black Law Students Association. See, then we knew you were destined for great things.
You going way back.
I'm going way back. I'm going to bring you up a little bit. See, you formed the Chicago Dream Team, and he got his notoriety and his fame through the Ryan Harris case, where he was able to get a large sum of money awarded to the families of the two children who were wrongly accused. So he's very active in the community, and he's a lot of fun on the show, too. So thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, the new person that we're breaking in tonight, Nina Christmas, right?
Yes, that's it.
All right. Now, she has an interesting background. She has a cosmetology license and a psychology degree.
Yes.
Now, one she did because she loved, which was the cosmetology license, and the other she did because her parents wanted her to go to school.
Make sure.
That's right. And she discovered that she can do her psychological counseling behind the chair. She actually lives in Atlanta now, and she's back home visiting. She's from here, but she is going to finally sit here with us and talk about living your dreams.
Wow, and thank you so much for allowing me to sit here along with such a great panel. Yeah, it's a plus. No complaints over here.
Yeah, they are wonderful, I tell you. Now, I've got a few notes, and I've got some internet questions also that we can go over. I want to invite the audience to pay attention to the number that's going to appear at the bottom of your screen. I also want you to have paper and pencil in hand so that you can write down anything that strikes you as we begin to talk. Not only are we going to talk about what I think of formulas, because anything that you achieve in life, you need to know what your manifestation process is, because what works for me may not work for you. It's different for everybody. So when you discover how it works for you, I want you to write it down, and then that is the lesson that you repeat over and over and over again in your life. So the basic formula that we're going to deal with is one that says thoughts plus feelings plus action equals manifestation. Now what that means is what you spend the majority of your time thinking about, how you feel about what you think about, and what you do about what you think about will determine what you actually demonstrate in your life. Because we often say one thing and then we do another thing. So you'll discover that you actually operate under two sets of thoughts. we have the thoughts that I call the polite thoughts that say, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to graduate school, I'm going to make a lot of money. And then we have the other thoughts, which are the thoughts that we keep hidden inside, that actually say, oh God, I can never do this. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too tall. I'm too short. Those thoughts. And until you get those thoughts to merge and really get true with how you feel about it, everything that you do will be a failure. You will not be able to be successful until you get real with who you are. So this is going to be a conversation that encourages the audience to actually get real with what they think about things, how they feel about them, what they plan to do about them, and determine what they're going to manifest. Now, we threw in action because I know we've all been told that if you just think about it all the time, and if you just pray about it, it'll happen. But absolutely nothing happens unless you move into action. So action is incredibly important. So,
well, actually, if you believe in the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you can believe all you want. You can have all the faith you want, but if you don't do something, nothing is going to happen. I mean, that's a general principle. It's a religious principle from the Bible, but I think it's a general principle in life. I mean, you cannot just sit there and think. I remember some years ago, about maybe 15 years ago, I wanted to buy a dinner theater because I've been interested in the arts for some time. And I remember me and a friend of mine, we wanted to get this theater, so we said, we're going to get this theater, and here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to the building that we want, we're going to put our hands on this building, and we're going to pray. And we did that. Wow. And we still don't have that building today. Because you can't just pray or have faith. That's not going to get it.
That's right. I mean, you mentioned the Bible. There's several stories, and if you look at all of the parables and all of the healings in the Bible, every one of them took some kind of action. There was a lady with the issue of blood. She had to take some action. She had to go and actually touch the hem of the garment. There was a guy that he said, get up, take up your bed and walk. There is some action required in everything. But why do you think we miss the action part?
Well, action. From my point of view, if you miss it, then you're not listening to your star player.
Okay.
And I normally say my star player is all the way inside. What I like to do with individuals, my tagline is, I am here to walk you into your best you. Okay. From behind the chair, allow people to pour it out. And we pick out, hey, you keep saying this, something's keeping you from getting all the way to the finish line. You might need to listen to yourself. You don't need to ask anyone else. You know, sometimes I don't think we value our own opinion.
Well, I think another problem that we have in terms of why we don't take action, why we don't do things, is fear. I think fear is probably the number one on my list anyway, of reasons why people don't do things. I was listening to a program today on NPR, and they were talking about people moving. They said why they studied this actually. They had these scientists who looked at this whole area. What they determined was that people generally move towards avoidance of pain, avoidance of things, opposed to moving towards pleasure. And what that meant is that if something is going on, we will try to avoid something more so than we'll try to go after what it is we really want. And they use an example of, let's say, a guy chasing a lion in the caveman days. Well, if this guy is going out to capture this lion, he's got two options. Either he's going to go forward to try to, say, get the food or the skin for clothing, whatever he's looking for, or he's going to try to avoid the lion because he doesn't want to be killed. And they said that what most people do is we are not going to go after the thing because we're afraid. We want to hold on to what we have opposed to going after what we want. And I think that